Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Fathur Rahman, registration number 1952042001 from English Education 2019. So, here I would like to present my research proposal entitled The Use of OMTP8 to Improve Speaking Skill of the Second Grade Students of SMA Negeri 3 Baru. But before that, I would like to say thank you to my supervisor, Professor Dr. Syarifuddin Dollah, MPD, and Professor Amirullah, SPD, MD, PhD, and my examiners, Sir Munir, SPD, MD, TESOL, and Mem. Dr. Anda Sharifah Paradiba, MHUM. Chapter 1, Introduction. Background. English is one of the international language, and it's important to study it in this era. English proficiency is vital for citizens in countries that seek to participate actively in the global economy and require access to information and knowledge for social and economic development. Based on Burns and Richards 2009 in Sulistyo 2015. Based on Burns and Richard's statement, we can say that learning English is very needed in this era because it has many interrelationships with various aspects of our life and can help you to expand many opportunities at the multinational level. Judging from the importance and the many advantages that you get if you master or able to speak English well, then we can start from the field of education. English has become a subject in Indonesia from elementary to university level, but as a foreign language and rarely use it makes English difficult for students to learn. There are 4 skills in English learning. There are speaking, listening, reading, and writing. From all 4 skills, speaking seems intuitively the most important, but there are some problems that obstruct students to improve their speaking skill. First is vocabulary missing. Based on Liu and Jackson 2008, vocabulary is a major obstacle for foreigners English learners to the level of speech skills. The second problem is fear of making mistake. Based on Johanna 2012 in Hayuning Tias 2020, it's generally caused the students are fear that their classmates will laugh at them. And we can also say that the students are unconfident, so they fear to make a mistake. Another problem is the mother tongue or environment. Mother tongue has been a language that students use daily wherever they are at home, when playing, when they are hanging out, or when at school. The use of their mother tongue because they feel comfortable when using it. So the use of English is rare in their daily activities. Therefore, one effort that should be tried in getting used to speak English students to use something that they always use daily, and that something is handphone, computer or PC. The use of mobile phones or handphone, computer, laptop or PC can be maximized to improve students' speaking skill by downloading apps or using website. One of the main applications worth trying is OMTV. OMTV is audio visual application that lets you chat and video call with random people from local or from foreigner countries. Sometimes students are embraced to speak face to face so they can try OMTV application to improve their confidence and their speaking. That's why I use the OMTV as the researcher. I use the OMTV application because OMTV can meet a fellow user randomly because both local and user from foreign countries if using a VPN application. Also because they don't meet directly, then students are expected to be able to increase their confidence in speaking English. And OMTV can also be used on handphone, which is a tool that students always use every day in their daily life. So as long as they have an internet, they can try OMTV anywhere and anytime. Next is related study. There are three related studies. First is conducted by Fadila Haya in 2021. She found that the class that using OMTV has an improvement in their speaking ability, but the class that doesn't use OMTV did not have a significant improvement in their speaking ability. The second study is conducted by Fitriani and Leroy in 2021. In their study, they found that Zoom meeting has an influence and significance on the student's speaking skill. It's proven by the average value of the experiment class is greater than the control class. And the last study is conducted by Putrawansha in 2020. In his study, she found that speaking skill she found that using YouTube videos is an effective strategy to improve student speaking skill. Next is problem statement. There are one problem statement in my research. Based on the background, I want to determine can the use of OMTV app improve the student's speaking skill. And the objective of the research is aimed to find out whether the OMTV app can improve the student's speaking skill. Next is significance of the research. There are two significances of the research. First is theoretical significance and practical significances. Theoretical significance of this research is this study can change the people's negative perception about learning speaking or teaching speaking is boring and unimportant into positive perceptions. Also, this study is expected to be a reference in the use of new learning media, especially in learning speaking. Next is practical significances. There are three practical significances. First is for the teacher. It can be used by the teacher as a new media or tools to teach speaking in this modern era and make a new environment more fun and relaxed. The next significance is for the student. It can give the new experience for students in learning speaking, make them more interested to learn speaking without afraid or shy for making mistakes, and expected to improve their speaking skills. The last significance is for the researcher. The result can be a search or reference for the next researcher about strategy or tool that can improve students' English speaking skill. Chapter 2: Literature Review. Speaking. Speaking is a significant ability in learning English language. Speaking is about something, to talk or say something about something, to mention something, to have conversation with somebody, to address somebody in words, to say something or express oneself in a particular language, based on Hornby in 1995. It has its own genre, as it has several stages to reach the goal using a language in an interactive way, based on Martin 2009 and Samad Bustari and Ahmad 2017. Based on expert statement, we can say speaking is interaction between speaker and listener. They talk about something to get information or to reach the goal that they want to know or they want to reach. Next is component of speaking. There are 5 components of speaking according to Harris and David in 1974 in Kurniawati, Eliwarti and Novitri in 2015. First is pronunciation. Based on Orlowski in 1998, pronunciation is a way of speaking a word, especially a way that is generally expected or generally understood. In pronunciation, sound and meaning are strongly related to each other, because if someone produces a sound and pronounce a word in the wrong way, it will affect the word itself, so that the meaning of the said word will change and may cause misunderstandings in conversation. Next is grammar. Grammar is a field of linguistics that affect all the various things and construct the rules of language. Simon and Schuster define grammar as the part of the study of language which deal with morphology, syntax, phonology, and semantics. Next is vocabulary. Based on Hutch and Brown in 1995, vocabulary is a set of words that has meanings and work as a tool for human communication and gets knowledge in a language. Vocabulary has important role for another language skills, even in translating, because without vocabulary, all of the language skills cannot work. Next is fluency. Fluency is the ability to read, speak, or write smoothly and expressively. Fluency can be defined as the ability to speak fluently and accurately. Signs of someone speaking fluently can be seen from how quickly and accurately the speaker speaks without much pause, which is usually indicated by using or and etc. The next component of speaking or the last is comprehension. The ability to understand is needed in everyday life, including speaking. In communicating, listeners and speakers are required to respond and understand to each other. In this case, the researcher used the term comprehensibility, which is an important component, because in speaking we must understand what we are talking about so that we can make the listener understand what we are saying. Problem in speaking. According to Ure in 1996, page 121, There are four problems of speaking. First is inhibition or fear of making mistake. This is a factor that is often found in students in Indonesia. They are afraid to make mistakes when speaking, especially in front of their friends. This is because they are embraced and become loved, like when they speak English but mix it with Indonesian. They are inhibited by shame and fear when they make mistakes. It is in line with Hayuning Tias and NH in 2020. They said fear of making mistakes is one of the problems in speaking for students, generally caused by their fear that colleagues will laugh at them. Next problem is nothing to say. Even if they are not inhibited, students sometimes forget what they want to say or can't think of what they want to say. It happens because of lack of motivation in expressing what they think. This also influenced by the teacher that they selected a topic that is not appropriate for them, or they do have enough information about it. They don't have enough information about it. Next problem is low or uneven participation. The lack of participation in question is the lack of time or opportunity for students to speak and express their opinions, caused by the large number of students in one class. The number of students in one class that is too many will affect the students' opportunity to speak, because they must wait their turns with less time. And the last problem of speaking is mother tongue or environment. The environment and habits the researcher means are the use of the mother tongue, in which the students in one class will usually use the mother tongue because it is easy for them. When the teacher asks their students to talk about a topic that they don't have enough knowledge or information, they will use their language or their mother tongue. And because in their environment they use their mother tongue, so the use of their mother tongue becomes natural for them. Next is Ome TV app. What is Ome TV? What is Ome TV app or website? Ome TV is a live streaming application or website which is streaming directly to Fiverr. Ome TV allows the user to make video calls and chat with another random user. It can be a local user or from another countries, but they have to use a VPN application. This application is available for Android and iPhone or iOS, also available for laptop, computer or PC. This application can be used on smartphone, laptop and PC, so the student can use this application as long as they are connected to internet. How to operate Ome TV application? First, download the Ome TV application on Play Store or App Store. And if you want to find the foreign user, you can also download VPN, because the user can from Indonesia cannot find the foreign user if they don't have a VPN application. Next is activate VPN and open Ome TV application to get user from other countries, and then log in with a Facebook account or sign in with a VK account. After you log in your Facebook account in Ometive application, fill in the country and gender. After that, you can start the Ometive application. And if you want to stop, you can click the stop button to finish the interaction. Next is the advantages and disadvantages of Ometive apps or website. There are several advantages of Ometive application or website. First is we can practice and measure our speaking skills with native speaker of the language if the user use VPN application. Because this application can connect fellow users around the world, we can meet native speaker of the language we want. In this case is English. So by using a VPN application, we can meet people from countries who speak English. The next advantages is simple to operate, because we don't need to make an account. We just need using Facebook account to log in, and you can start the app. The next advantage is can be done anytime and anywhere if it's connected to internet access. And the disadvantages of Ometive apps, there are several disadvantages of this application. First is visual harassment often occurs. Requires internet during application use. So if you want to use this application or website, we need internet access. So as long as we have internet access, we can use this application or website. Next is conceptual framework. In this research, I will teaching speaking by using Ometive application as my media, and using this media or using this application Ometive application, I would like to improve students. I would like to see the improvement if there are any improvement of speaking skill of the students. And there are 5 speaking skills. There are pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. That speaking skill, I want to see if there any improvement in their speaking skill. Hypothesis. There are 2 hypotheses in my research. The null hypothesis, or HO, the use of Ometive application cannot improve the students' speaking skills. And the alternative hypothesis, or HA, the use of Ometive application can improve the students' speaking skills. Chapter 3, Research Method. Research science. This research is research using quantitative method. Quantitative research is the research that used to analyze the data in the form of numbers. And in this research, I will use pre-experimental design, which is one group pretest post-test. Research. So I will in this research I'm just using one. I will use one class there is control class, and I'm not using experimental class, sorry. I will using experimental class, and there is no control class. And next is research variable. There are two research variables in this research. The independent variable is OMTV application or web, and dependent variable is students speaking skill. Next is population and sample. The population in this research is the 11th grade of the second or the second grade of SMA Negeri 3 Baru. And the sample in this research is kelas 11 IPA 1 by using cluster random sampling technique. The research instrument. In this research, I will use performance test, which the test is speaking test. So for the pre-test and post-test, the students will explain how or why a phenomenon, social or art, can be happen directly in front of the class. So the researcher will obtain data from that test by using the form that is made by the researcher. Next is procedure of collecting data. The procedure of collecting data, I will use like in this table. First, I will use I will give the students the pretest. The pretest is symbolized as T1. After the students get the pretest, I will give the treatment. That is teaching speaking by using the OMTP application or web, and it symbolized as X. After the student get the treatment, the students will get the post-test and symbolized as T2. And the last is technique of data analysis. The researcher will calculate the score from the components by using the following formula, and the researcher will calculate the mean score, standard deviation, pair simple t-test, and significance difference between pre-test and post-test by using the SPSS statistic version 2021. And that's all my proposal presentation. Sorry for the bad pronunciation, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.